JP continues to lie about FinSac. And you see, this is the reason. And I can't really, fathom how the Jamaica Labour Party administration is thinking. And let me warn them. Whenever you come out with lies, remember, we are in the technical era. We are in the technological era, right? And the thing is, when you lie, we have social media and we have all sort of search engine that people are going to consult those search engine and show you definitely that you are lying. So I'm asking, why the Jamaica Labour Party administration just continue to lie? Is it something that just built in their DNA, in their genes, that they just can't speak the truth and they have to lie? It's as my wife said, it's innate, right? That they just can't speak the truth. They just innately corrupt, right? And that is one of the reasons why, when they are talking about 18 years, they need to know that that is one of the reasons why that they had spent 18 years in the wilderness. But let me tell you something. What this new generation had witnessed with the Jamaica Labour Party, right, and what we, the older folks, right, know about the Jamaica Labour Party, they are going to serve more than 18 years in the wilderness. I can tell them that. Because what Andrew Holness had done, right, I think Andrew Holness had gone beyond any corruption as it relates to any prime minister, right, in Jamaica, and particularly in the Caribbean. I've never seen, to be honest, right, I'm just being honest right now, never seen, right, as it relates to another Caribbean leader where his statutory declaration, you understand, going for 3 years, cannot be certified and still cannot be certified. And what we have seen as it relates to the Integrity Commission investigator report, there's so many apparatus as it relates to what seems to be money laundering, right? And so then the evidence is just there. The evidence is just there. And then him doubling down, not wanting FID to, investigate. He's just saying that, okay, you really have something to hide. You really have something to hide. And this is what you're saying to people. And then you are sending that message that indeed you are acting as someone who is guilty before even tried. Before even being tried. You are acting so guilty, right? And so then let us get into this clip as we trot along. Yes. Okay. Let us get into, where Andrew continue to lie. And that is hurting him in the poll. That is what is hurting him amongst Jamaican people. Because he comes out, he spit out the lies, and where the Jamaican people know the truth. So how are you going to get ahead? I just don't understand that. Yes, right? He comes out, right? He spit the amount of lies that he's spitting, right? And we can see that he's now absolutely a damaged goods.
Yes. That when I tell you that I shudder to think what could happen, it is because I lived through FinSac and I saw people suffering as a result. I saw what happened, how the entrepreneurial class was totally destroyed, wiped out, not only by bad economic policies related to how banks were regulated, but it was also destroyed because it created a false notion that investing in government paper was really investing. It created what I call a lazy set of entrepreneurs. And it is that lazy set of entrepreneurs who now want to come around the country. It created a class of people who believe that buying government paper was actually creating wealth. We must never allow that notion to return in our country. Because right now we have created, this government, this administration has properly established what it means to be an entrepreneur and to create wealth. People now have to go and invest in real wealth, in real business. There is no mystery as to why it is, as the Jamaica Labour Party come in, the unemployment rate move from as high as 13% to now 4.2. You know why? Because investors now have to do real investment that employ people. They have to invest in the real economy. And government borrowing is not crowding out real investment. These are some of the fundamental changes that have happened in our country. That sometimes the ordinary man, yes, worry about his salary and all the other issues, which are important issues. But in order for us to address the issues that are bothering you now, the pain points, we have to change these fundamental issues. The bad roads, the lack of water, poor public transportation, all of these issues did not happen overnight. They happened because we had a government that neglected the fundamentals. What I call, the best way to describe it is voodoo economics, smoke and mirrors economics, creating a false sense of wealth through high interest rates. And that is why I'm so fearful when I see those persons who benefited from that era of Jamaica's economic history to come now to talk when they didn't make their wealth by hard-nosed investing. They made their wealth simply by being connected, simply by a government policy that says, I will just take your money and give you back 10, 20% on it. You don't have to do anything. And they call that investing. All that meant is that the poor people who paid their taxes, that tax that you pay went to pay them, who started out already with money in their hand. And that is why their own member of parliament had to speak the truth, that the economic policy of their government was nothing more than the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. We cannot go back to that. And those who benefited from it must never take power in this country.
My Jamaican people, my Jamaican people, I have to laugh. I have to laugh. And the reason why we have to laugh is, this is the reason why Jamaica is saying, and let me speak collectively, Jamaica is saying, you, Andrew Holness, have to go. Right? You are pathologically mendacious. When I say that you are a liar, you are a deceiver. No, let me take what Andrew Holness just said a while ago, saying lazy set of entrepreneurs trying to run this country. No, giving the notion, right, that Mark Golden had benefited from, because of course it is Mark Golden, right, who is competing for the prime ministership. And so then when he said lazy set of entrepreneurs trying to run this country, giving the notion as if to say that Mark Golden had benefited from FinSA decision as it relates to the 1995 financial meltdown. Let me say this to Andrew Holness' administration. There is nowhere in the report, and remember, Andrew Holness, it is you, it is your administration who had paid for this investigation. Remember, it is you who see the investigators, right, and paid millions of dollars for this investigation. And so then you can't say, right, the investigation was done by PNP entity. I'm glad that you cannot say that. And so then, obviously, the report now go against you, what you are on a mission, right? Fooling the Jamaican people, right? But guess what? We know that you are a political con artist. You understand? You're a political scammer. Now I'm going to show you something and show you how vicious the Jamaican Labour Party administration is. Now, let me deal with the situation as it relates to the extreme cruelty of the Jamaican Labour Party administration. I'm going to show you a clip, people. Hey, I am going to show you a clip, and let me explain the clip that I am going to show you. Now, just imagine that Andrew Holness, right, still want to say, I want to blame the FIDSAC, the 1995 financial meltdown and the People's National Party, even when the report is saying that the 1995 financial meltdown was not a result of high interest rate, because there were several other banks in Jamaica and worldwide, right, that survived during high interest rate. So high interest rate, right, have no impact on the situation. The report clearly stated that unless Andrew Holness, well, it is not everyone who calls few numbers can comprehend properly, unless he's not comprehending what he's reading, right? Unless he's not comprehending what he's reading, or, you know, is definitely a pathological liar, which we believe the latter, right? And so then there is nowhere in the report that tells us, right, critical thinkers, that it contributed to high interest rate. And here is this man. But let me tell you something. I'm going to go further and show a clip tonight. The clip that I'm going to show is that Holness, right, Andrew Holness is talking that Andrew Holness said all of those persons who benefited should not be in government.
So what are they doing?
And guess what? I agree with him. People, I do agree with him. Right? It's just a pity that some of them leave, right? And it's a pity that some of them die, right? And we know that some of them still in the cabinet of Jamaican Labour Party. So by your own word, Andrew Holness, can you tell them to leave? No, why you tell them to leave before we start to call out the names them, you know? Because you just said that, you know? Right? They are not supposed to be in government, you know. So why you tell them to leave? Let me tell you, let me show you this clip to show you how extremely wicked they are. I'm going to show you a clip with Omar Davis and Ardley Shaw. They were doing a political debate. And at the time, Omar Davis did not know that Ardley Shaw was one of the beneficiaries as it relates to FINSA. He didn't know. Right? Remember, I still later down the investigation done, you know. And you know what, people? Ardley Shaw, during that debate, right, is pointing finger and Omar Davis said Omar Davis must blame for FINSA. While when he was doing that, he was a beneficiary. People, let me play the clip and let you see. It's amazing to show you that, people. Let me tell you something. Anything from out of the Jamaican Labour Party, people need to stay far and wide from them. They are corrupted to the core, people. This is dry, I am barefoot.
During the 1980s, late 1980s, the JP government removed some services from sections of local government system towards central government, partially emasculated the KCC. Some of this was said to be all in the name of management of the economy. Was it right then? And if it was right then, is it likely that in the process of trying to tighten up and to hold down government costs, that you would suggest a cutting back of the local government system?
Well, it is not the intention of the Jamaican Labour Party to cut back the local government system. We believe in local government. We believe in community development. And as a matter of fact, one of the plans that we have is that, you know, while the government has been building super highways and bragging about the highway from here to Old Harbor or wherever, the fact is that the parish infrastructure in Jamaica has totally broken down. Community roads, farm roads, markets, water supply systems have been totally broken down. And one of the things we intend to do is to arrange proper funding for these kinds of activities. And we are going to do it in a way that we are going to preserve the parish council system, but we do not intend to keep a bureaucracy called a Ministry of Local Government, where what you have is a Minister of Local Government who, instead of enhancing the process of community development through parish councils, he becomes an impediment. He becomes a political victimizer where he withholds resources from the parish council system. We are not going to tolerate that. We are prepared to abolish the ministry, and we are prepared to make sure that we have strong, accountable parish council systems that will account to the Auditor General in a similar way as the Parliament accounts to the Auditor General. Let me say, first of all, that the high interest rate policy of Omar and the PNP has been one of the most destructive forces in the history of Jamaica's economy. It led to the financial sector collapse, where over 40 financial institutions went. Entrepreneurs that previously had been heralded by him, some of them are exiles abroad now. Many entrepreneurs lost their businesses. Many companies that were over 100 years old in Jamaica were destroyed and sold to foreigners. That is the legacy. And even one of his colleagues who sits in this room today described it as the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich since the abolition of slavery. This is why the Jamaica Labour Party is committed passionately to the need to reduce the debt burden, to have a credible debt reduction plan, to find sources where we can borrow money more cheaply, including the multilaterals, because we're going to go to them for project-specific financing. We are going to do, we have other initiatives on the cards. We're going to use...
Honey, take it away. I just want the people them to hear that, right? I just want the people them to hear what the man said to Omar Davis. Speaking about Omar Davis, the greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. And while he was saying that, he is the very same person who had benefited and defaulted, and it is the same Omar Davis has to bail him out. People, you don't want it wicked. It cannot be more wicked than that. When you witness something like this, it cannot get any more wicked. This is how cruel the Jamaica Labour Party administration is. Can we just imagine that that came out of his mouth? The man who knew very well, he knew very well that he had benefited. He had defaulted on his loan. Not only him, Edward Philip George Siaga took over $30 million and forfeited on their loan many of them in the Jamaica Labour Party cabinet. And this is what Ardley Shaw stood there, right, and saying, did not realize that there is going to be an investigation into the FinSAC and his information was going to reveal. This goes to show you that the things that Andrew Holness is doing and giving those bare-faced lies and all the things that he's going to promise and promising airport in Negril, I want to know where he's going to get the traffic from so that we can make the profit. Now, just imagine Boscobel Airport, that the government, taxpayers' money dump into Boscobel Airport. How much profit that Boscobel Airport is making as it relates to benefiting, right, the government? Huh? How much? And then here it is, knowing that it can't work. Let me tell them, for people that talk about the airport at Nigeria is a good jet either. It can't promise, it's a comfort to a fool. So then if the Boscobel Airport, right, is not doing well as it relates to the amount of traffic going through, you understand, so that the airport can make money, and we are losing money on the Boscobel Airport. Right now, as we speak, we are losing millions of dollars. And yet, he's now telling Jamaicans, a fool, so, that he's going to set up, you understand, an next airport in Negre. So where the traffic is going to come from? Where the traffic is going to come from? What we're going to do? Spend millions of dollars when our hospitals need fixing? Our hospitals in our healthcare system is so dilapidated. And you, right, spend billions of dollars at Boscobel Airport, right, to please who? To please what? Bush Stewart's son? To please the standards chain? Because only they are benefited. That's why I tell people about capitalism. You understand? And this government, this capitalism government, when we talk about crony capitalism, this is what we talk about. That they suppress the poor in order to make them rich. So they only, this government only care, you understand, for the bubbles, the ones in the bubble, the elites of society, right? And taxpayers' money have to dump in Boscobel. And what are we getting from Boscobel? And now, here is Andrew Holness listening, you understand, to some of the PSOJ canartists, you understand, wanting to do what? Put an airport in the grill when Boscobel is not making any money. People don't have sense. Think of it. You think of it. Right? So then, let us move on. Let us get to the next clip as we traverse, right? And that is one of the reasons why we have seen the poll that we have seen today, where, of course, Mark Golding is whipping him street lane and corner. He's going to get whipped, right? Because when we call out to blatant lies, right? And of course, we Google search and facts check you, right? Then, of course, the people have to see the facts and follow the facts. And let me say this. It is not like that we are defeating you. You are defeating yourself in the poll because of the lies that you have been telling and continue to tell. Right?
And it's ridiculous promises.
And so, yes, and your ridiculous promises. The lies that you continue to tell and the ridiculous promises. And guess what? We don't have to go hard to prove you wrong. Right? People have just Google search, and they know that you're a liar. Let me tell you something, Andrew Holness. The dinosaur politics that you are practicing is not going to help any of you. And that's why in this era, where social media is concerned, you are getting all of that beating that you're getting. And remember, your vloggers cannot help you because your vloggers, what they're going to come out and do? Lie? Your vloggers are going to lie?
Continue lying.
And continue to lie? No, listen to me. When you have a Wayne Lonesome, when you have a Mystic Sensation, when you have an Aromatic, when you have an Attack for the Press, when you have a Andre Stevenson, when you have a Anita Bell Rose, when you have a Attack for the Press, right? Touch your mind. How are you going to get through? You tell me, when you have a bowler, how are you going to get through? How are you going to get through? You understand? None of your bloggers who are telling lies. All we need to do, you understand, it's focus on the truth, deliver the truth, right? And open the people's eyes. And guess what? The Jamaican people are following us. Right? All of the vloggers, right, who are shining, and I don't call Carlos, big up yourself, Carlos,
Jamaican.
right? Jamaican Carlos, Jamaican at topic, right? And you know, for who I don't remember now, trust me, Mystic Sensation, kudos to all of who are doing a great job on social media in disseminating the truth. And because guess what? The truth matters and context. Big up yourself, Isaac Buchanan. Watch out. I mean, I left out Ratty gun. Watch out. Jesus, please. Ratty, anywhere there. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Right? Big up yourself. Big up yourself. Big up yourself, everybody. So this is what we are talking about. All we need to do, we are not going to go down the road in terms of telling lies. All we need to do, right? Go and Google search, right? Search for the facts and present them. Present them. So you on your alternate truth is not going to work, and your bag of lies. And that's why you are getting beating. And the more you stay, you are going to getting more beating. And that's why we believe everything that comes out in the Integrity Commission report. So then, let me say this for you. Is the Integrity Commission investigators, are they telling any lies on you that you have 28 accounts? Are they telling lies, Mr. Andrew Holness? Talk to me, Mr. Andrew Holness. Are they telling lies that more than $500 million running through 4 accounts of yours? Are they telling lies? No, they are not. Are they telling lies that $143,000 US came from out of SSL into an account with NCB where you took out $0? Are they telling lies on you, Mr. Andrew Holness? I want to know if they are telling lies, right? Because I think you lost the ability of speaking the truth. I think from the very moment you open your mouth, sir, the very moment you open your mouth, one can anticipate a lie coming from that. And that is disgraceful that we have a prime minister representing us on the international stage. You are affected, right? Even the international partners cannot trust you. They can't, because you lost the ability of truthfulness. You are dangerous. Right? You are extremely dangerous to us as a people. We are telling you the truth. Right?
We cannot in
We're gonna
any way
hustle out.
allow the performance of the government to be devalued in the minds of the people. I find it a curious argument that the party that is responsible for FinSAC, the greatest devastation of Jamaica's economic base, the cause of great poverty in the country. It's a curious position from a party that decimated Jamaica's middle class, Jamaica's skills and talent, where all those people left the country, not just with their skills and talent, but with their resources. That under their watch, murders crossed the 1,000 threshold and have stayed there since. Curious argument for them to want to rehold the office of government purely on the basis that some time has come. There is no commitment, no vision, nothing has been put forward that would demonstrate that they would be able to handle the challenges that we have had as a government better than how we have done it.
Well, let me say this to you, Andrew Holness. Mark Golan simply is going to do a far better job than you by not doing one thing. Let me say this. Mark Golan administration staying away from corruption is going to help a lot. Mark Golan administration staying away from corruption is going to significantly help a lot. Let me remind you, Prime Minister, when you're talking about steady hands, your steady hands mingle in SSL. Your steady hand, right? We owed $2.3 trillion in debt. And your steady hand, $1.7 trillion unaccounted for as it relates to your steady hand. Then, boss, if your hand's so steady and we had lost $1.7 trillion, what happened to if your hand gets shaky? No, I mean, if your hands are so steady and we cannot account for $1.7 trillion, including your office, and remember, you know, your hand is so steady, and we had lost, we cannot account for $1.7 trillion as it relates to your steady hand. Then what if your hand gets shaky, boss? What if your hand gets shaky, boss? Because your steady hand mixed up in a SSL, your steady hand as it relates to your office, 1.7 trillion, education, health, and the office of the Prime Minister. Remember, your office, right? 1.7 trillion unaccounted for, and your hands are steady. And your hands are steady. Well, you know what? Now, when you talk about, you know, certain things, I'm going to show you the vicious lies of the Jamaican Labour Party. I think I don't know tonight. Me make sure, say, I done some proper research, right, to pass on this information to my people. Now, since you talk about FinSA and what, right, you continue to lie about. Now, let me dig back in a SSL a little bit. Do you remember, my people? Nigel Clark came out in Parliament, you know, and said to all Jamaicans that progress had been made in terms of paying back some of SSL investors. This is what the man said. And you know what? I have a document to share to show you the information as it relates to Nigel Clark. And when we are talking about that Nigel Clark, right, help you Croskery, help Andrew Holness to re-execute FinSA 2.0 via SSL, transforming from Paul Young and Associates. Yes, right? They had conspired based on the evidence that we are seeing, right, to definitely damage investors. And the same behavior that Andrew Holness is talking about. The greatest, you know what? You know what? Andrew Holness, let me give you a line where you say. You just spoke about the FinSA and you said it is the greatest devastation where money was taken from the poor and give to the rich. Let me ask you a question, Andrew Holness. What SSL had done, what both you, Nigel Clark, what have you had done in SSL? Have you taken money from the rich and give to the poor? People have their last investment and put it in SSL and had lost it. And who is in possession of that money? Who is in possession of that money? That I want to ask you. You just said on the clip that what the PNP had done with your lying lips, right? The wickedness as it relates to the 1995 financial meltdown. The greatest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich. What SSL had done? I want you to answer me on Jonas. Yeah? And when Nigel Clark went out and said, no stone is going to be left unturned. And he has not touched one. So you tell me what SSL symbolize in respective of what you just said? Eh? What SSL symbolize in terms of what you just said? It goes to show you that you are a dirty hypocrite and you're a parasite, bad mind. So when people are talking and asking you about certain issues and they talk about people bad mind you, it is you who bad mind the black man who put in money in a SSL, right? The black man who put in money in a SSL and who make up and take the man money. No one bad mind. Eh? No bad mind that. Let me ask you, no bad mind that. Covetousness. Bad mind, covetousness, and greed. Eh? No, the man run for your money, work hard for your money, catch Jamaica and it's back. No, who no bad mind him? Eh? No, who no bad mind him? Take my money because no, him too black. Him not supposed to have that. Him too black. Him not supposed to have that. They are talking for what it is, you know, because you no respect him. Eh? The icon. You no respect the icon. You understand? You don't care who he is. You disrespect him so much. And yet you run come out. Even you should never go on campaigning. You should be campaigning. You should be preparing yourself to get into the judiciary. That's what you need to do. But to show you how you double down on your corruption, you put the Integrity Commission investigators right in Parliament interrogating them as if the distinguished people are criminals. Eh? Want to turn the distinguished people into criminals, right? When you and your administration, you understand, criminal activities, right? And yet, you're putting the Integrity Commission investigators that you on 3 occasions applauded, right, to have excellent performance. And here you are, because they put you under the microscope, the people them find you out. Right? The people them find you out and highlight the dirty deeds. So what you do now? What you do now? You understand? Want to double down with your wrongdoing? And you want to burn down the institution of justice. That is what you want to do now. Right? For those who you cannot corrupt, you want to get rid of them. Right? You want to eliminate them. Right? Be the Jamaican people tired of you. You understand what I'm saying? So now, let me show the people as it relates to Connery. So while you jump out, right, your administration as it relates to Nigel Clark, I said, let me tell you something, Nigel Clark, there's a special beating for you, Yaga IMF. Let me tell you something, man. There's going to be a special beating for you, Nigel Clark. A Father God is going to beat you, you know. We are going to leave you up to God. Do you understand me? I said, when you go on your knees and pray, I wonder who you pray to. But me said, there's a special beating is coming your way, Nigel Clark. And Holness, you remember, you are the personification of the devil himself. Let me tell you that. Now, let us get into this report and show you how crooked these people are. MF government consolidated update. Okay. Now, these people continue with their trickery, asking Crawl to come and investigate. And when Crawl came and investigated, and Crawl found what they found, the amount of wrongdoing, now they sit and want to cover the report. Right? Now they sit and want to cover the report, my people. But Mystic Sensation, we are going to dig into it tonight and expose some stuff. Is to show you that Nigel Clark must not be believed. He's a liar. Right? Nigel Clark is Beelzebub who sits on the right-hand side of Satan. And we don't know that Andrew Holness is Satan, you know. We don't know that Andrew Holness is Satan. And Nigel Clark is Beelzebub. No. Let us look at these people. Okay. Let us look here. 2.2, transfer of local securities. Transfers began in September and as at April 16, 2024. People not listening. Bulletin point number 1, 1,230 client accounts, totaling approximately 15.37 billion of local equity and fixed income securities were transferred to accounts specified by these clients. You know, hear that, people? Jamaican dollar cash of approximately 665 million for 338 clients has been paid over to these clients. You know, hear them liar, people? Want to hear them lie them, you know, people? More want to hear them lie them when Nigel Clark plan up for dinner. Therefore, a total of 16.3 billion in approximately 70% of Jamaican dollar denominated assets held in SSL's off-balance sheet portfolio have now been transferred to clients. You know, hear that, people? You know, hear that, people? Jamaican dollar denominated assets, including Jamaican equity and fixed income securities and Jamaican dollar cash. For the remaining Jamaican dollar securities, totaling 7.6 billion in value, the temporary manager is pursuing an agreement with a trust company for the en bloc transfer of these remaining Jamaican dollars assets, which will be held by the trust company in custody for clients. More details will be provided once this agreement is finalized. SSL continues to process requests to transfer available cash balances. Clients are required to submit their requests, including payment details, to the service team. Take that away. Take that. Looking at to show you the corruption, right? No wonder why Adli Shah did what he did and say what he said there, right? All of them, they are corrupt, lie, criminals.
It's not shared yet.
All right, so we are going to share this document, right? So when we talk about the previous document talking about the process of paying back all those clients, now on look on this and now, people. On look on this now. Pay them back. JLP slams spreading of lies about Prime Minister and government relating to SSL. Urges firm to compensate both and others investors. People, want to imagine? People, yeah, let me tell you something, people. I mean, look, them people really take people for idiots, you know. Just hear that. Pay them back. JP Islam spreading of lies about Prime Minister and government related to SSL. Urges firm to compensate both and other investors. Can you imagine, people? Eh? The party in a statement issued on Friday also rejected what it describes as barefaced lies being told by People's National Party operatives. You know, hear that, people? Who seek to connect the Prime Minister Andrew Holness and the government to wrongdoing at SSL. So let me ask a question. Let me ask a question for the first paragraph. Hold on, let me ask a question for the first paragraph. So, honey, the Integrity Commission investigator, the Integrity Commission investigators now investigate and found out that $143,000 US left from SSL and going to an account at NCB, where Andrew Holness take out that account at $0. And the 104, and shortly after, $143,000 went into that account? US dollars. So I'm going to tell me now. So I want to talk about success. The party in a statement on Friday also rejected what it described as barefaced lies being told by People's National Party operative. Then lick their head. There are people that lick their head. Yeah? Who seek to connect the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness. Well, guess what? Guess what? I know we are trying to connect Prime Minister Andrew Holness. I know we are trying to connect Andrew Holness, you know. It's SFL. They try to connect Andrew Holness, you understand, through the NCB account when they take out for $0. On out order and bright. On outer order and bright. The statement came following a series of cryptic tweets by Bolt last week, which led to several Jamaicans speculating whether the Sprint icon was lashing out. Yes, him have every right to lash out. Take away that document, not to read any further. What a piece of faithiness. What a piece of outorderness. And then jump up now to talk about paying back, paying back. Well, at the same time, I say paying back. I tell you, cross carry if you run to Canada. The same time, who do they talk about SSL for paying back? The same time, when I allow you cross carry if you live up from out of Jamaica and go to Canada, I say, wicked plus tax. Yes. Wicked plus tax. Anybody in a Jamaica, and let me say this, if I'm my friend and family, I mean, no, say them I vote for JLP, me done with them. Tell me to tell you that. Them can't get a cent from me. So let me talk it loud on my platform. If me no say, a friend or a family of my own, you understand, voting for people like them, you understand, them can't get a cent from me. You understand, I thought that. You understand, because I'm not going to indulge in wickedness and corruption. This is dark evil. This is evil, dark. No.